a controversially great horror film. So this film surrounds Jack Delroy, a late night host who attempts to contact the devil in an attempt to save his late night talk show host amid floundering ratings, and it doesn't quite go according to plan. So let's start from the top. This movie is for the hardcores in the best way. We love documentaries on serial killers, so why not present a horror film in that fashion? But commit to the bit. Satanic Panic was real in the 1970s, so much so that even being caught playing D&D would land a kid in trouble, because of his conservative parents. On the heels of all this, we have a late night talk show host who starts out as a young man yearning for success as he climbs the charts to try and challenge Johnny Carson as the #1 late night talk show. As time passes, the gap widens. The death of Delroy's wife seemingly spells the end for his career, as heartbreak often does, but he returns nonetheless. His low ratings lead him to putting together a Halloween-themed episode that has psychics, skeptics, and a young girl that was used in a cult ritual. The presentation of this film sticks to the 70s era look the entire way through, with the only exception being the behind-the-scenes bits where we see Jack talking to his manager along with June, but we'll talk more about her later. As the night goes on, more and more outlandish stuff happens. Christou getting a massive psychic attack and communicating the nickname Minnie before vomiting blood and dying on the way to the hospital. Dr. June brings out Ingrid, a young girl that survived a mass cult suicide. These sequences are amazing because they've completely committed to the bit. You feel like you're watching an actual 70s broadcast. It's all outstanding from the look to the acting, with particular praise warranted for David, I'm going to butcher this, Dastmalchian. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Anyway, everyone is giving it their game and it shows. Towards the end, the true demon is summoned forth and begins to kill people all around the studio, until it is revealed to us very clearly that Jack made a deal with the demon, maybe the devil, for his success. It costs him his wife, but in exchange he will be, quote-unquote, successful. It appears to be a monkey's paw situation, as we cut to Jack having killed Ingrid with a dagger in a now empty studio with many bodies strewn about. I think another reason why I really enjoyed this film is because of the idea of making a deal with the devil to attain success. I understand how the drive to succeed would cause that. I don't agree with it, but I understand his motivation. I would say one of the only midpoints of this film is Carmichael the Conjurer. I understand why they have him. The idea of having a skeptic is a good idea. In fact, he's based on James Randi, a former magician hell-bent on proving and being skeptical. He wants to show that everything is a lie, that it's all just hoax, but he's honest about it. But no. In this film, let me be very clear, this guy is a douchebag, which, props to Ian Bliss, the guy who actually plays him. He's great. He's a great, magnificent actor. I fucking hated him throughout this film because he's skeptical. And to a point, it's a good thing to have a skeptic, but he's also such a pompous asshole about things. Not allowing anything to breathe or making a point of saying, this is all lies, watch, let me show you, and let me look down at all of you while you believe in this. He's a jerk in the worst way possible. Now, as of late on YouTube, the whole idea of analog horror has been growing. To all you YouTube horror peeps out there, you will love this film. This feeds into that in the best way possible. If you enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's, but you enjoy looking for all the little slivers, all the little clues, so you can piece the story together, if you enjoy The Backrooms, or hell, even Marble Hornets, if you want to go that far back, you will definitely enjoy this film, and I can't recommend it enough to you. Now, a lot of the practical effects in this film were amazing, especially the whole worm sequence, which, when you watch the film, you know what I'm talking about. That said, we have to discuss a serious controversy. According to the director, AI was used on 3 images. They were experimenting, and he somewhat apologized. He kind of danced around the apology. Now, I'm not sure if this came before or after the whole SAG writers agreement and the SAG actors agreement when it came to, not using AI, or the limited use of AI when it came to writing and when it came to acting. That said, I don't know if this qualifies under special effects. Maybe AI is allowed to be used in that capacity. That said, that's a bad thing. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that. The fact that AI was used in this film genuinely dampens it on my part. To quote Chema, it's a slippery slope. We allow it to be used for 3 seconds here, and it's used a little more there, and then eventually it's used all the way through. I don't agree with this in any capacity. If this was done, 5-10 years ago where they were just experimenting with it, but AI hadn't become such a threat, that'd be a different story. But as of right now, especially to creatives, it's a hard stance anti-AI, no exceptions. So there's that. This film initially would have been like an 8 out of 10. I immediately told Chema as soon as it was over, it was my top 10 films of the year. Chema said, and you can go watch our podcast review to get more of his thoughts, but I remember him stating he feels like the film failed because at the end there, they spelled out what happened. He wishes that they hadn't shown that Jack made a deal with the devil. He kind of wishes that they had just let that be. They had completely committed to the bit. I kind of disagreed. I like the fact that they went all the way with it and showed Jack, making his deal with the devil. I like that they showed Jack killing his wife to put her, quote unquote, out of her misery and the sorrowitude that comes with that. I don't even know if that's a real word. I enjoyed that. I was all in on this movie until I found out about the use of AI. And even though it's only in 3 shots, that's 3 shots too many. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to disqualify this film from being in the top 10. And I cannot wholly recommend it. There needs to be a very clear message sent. No AI. That said, what's the point of doing this review? Bye, everyone.